Okay, guys, I find this camera to be extremely distracting. So I'm going to just turn you guys over there, and I'm going to just do this the way that I need to do this, because the camera for me is extremely distracting. And welcome to Master Energy. So knowing your energetic body and how it works with your physical body can bring homeostasis to your everyday life. And this course is about mastering your own energy. It's about taking back your own power. So how do we do that? The first thing that we have to know how to do in any sort of energy work that we're doing is how to protect our energy field. Extremely, extremely important. Now I have the protection sprays, I have the crystals, I have the stones, I have everything that anybody would need to facilitate in protecting their energy field. But the most important thing that you have to know how to do is you may not have your sprays, you may not have your stones, but the one thing that you will always have, and that is your own power. And what you can do and what you should do every day before you even get out of bed is to put that protection bubble around you. How do you do that? You use your imagination, you use your third eye, and you create this beautiful white bubble. And you can have it come up from the bottom of your feet. You can have it come from the top of your head. Whatever direction this bubble works for you, you create this bubble, this white light bubble of protection that goes around your aura, around the layers of your energy field. And we're going to learn about energy layers. We're going to learn about all of those fields. But just put that bubble out there. And once you've got that protection bubble, then if you want to use the stones or you want to use the sprays, that's the shellac. That's the armor on top of it. But we don't always have access to that stuff. So you have to know that by bringing in that white light, pushing your feet down into the ground, anchoring or grounding yourself is extremely important. What I do, breath work, is also extremely important. And we're going to learn that in this course. But take in a nice deep breath. And as you're taking in that deep breath, you're going to imagine this white light just coming down over your body, completely over your body, down to the bottom of your feet, and kind of pushing down into the earth, into the floor, into whatever it is that's beneath you, and then bringing it back up again. And that's grounding and protecting and your breath work. So as we move forward, that's lesson 1, and we will get into that after Universal Spiritual Law. So what to expect. This class is a mixture of many teachings that I have acquired over the years from many different modalities of healing energy and spiritual work. I took what resonated with me from each, and I recommend that you do the same. The baseline of this class will be the principles of Reiki. However, I am not teaching traditional Reiki. Reiki, all Reiki is, Rei is universal, Ki is life force energy. That's Reiki, life force energy. Universal, life force energy. The reason that I have this Master Energy class taught first, before I start teaching any sort of Reiki, is so that we can cover the anatomy of Reiki, which is covered in Reiki level 1. So you get so much more in the Master Energy, but that is why the Master Energy course, the free one, is a prerequisite to any Reiki courses you take with me, because I do cover the anatomy of Reiki. But as a Master Energy worker, you will have a much better understanding of how your body works for you, taking back your power. Again, I do offer the option of taking Reiki courses. If you're interested in that, you can visit my website at www.angelsdohealing.energy. I think that's the whole thing. You have arrived. Rebirth is upon you. A rebirth is when we let go of the old and start anew. As a soul child, if your energy wasn't already shifting, you probably wouldn't be here with me taking this class. As a child of the universe, you have been chosen to grow into divine fullness. As we start this journey together, we will start each day with an invocation. Whatever one works for you. For me, mine is, just for today, I will not worry. That's it. Whatever works for you. You can say, just for today, I will pay attention. Just for today, I will stay awake. Just for today, I will be happy. Just for today, whatever positive invocation that you have for yourself. Mine is, just for today, I will not worry. Keep an open mind. Have a pen and paper ready if you want to write down any questions. A little bit about me is in the handout, but I am an intuitive master energy worker. I'm a spiritual coach, a Reiki master teacher. I'm also in the process of becoming a quantum Reiki master. And I've been doing this about 15 years, and I did Reiki probably for, I'm going to say 6 or 7 years before I even knew what Reiki was. And then I got the certification to put on my wall so that when people came in, they knew that I kind of knew what I was doing, a little bit anyway. But I'm a person who chooses to manifest the will of divine energy here on earth. Among other attributes, I'm a person who brings peace and I do well with humanity. On a more technical definition, a Reiki master teacher can initiate and teach others the art of Reiki. However, my gifts far exceed just Reiki healing energy, as you will find out. You're going to attune to the vibration that you need to receive for you. At the end of this class, you will be harmonized with one's own soul. I make no promises, but the promises are endless. How did we get here? So my course was divinely guided by the number 22. The number 22 is significant in itself is that it has several interesting properties. There are 22 chapters and revelations in the Bible, 22 letters in the Hebrew alphabet. In numerology, the number 22 is named the master number because of its massive vibration, on the verge of obtaining spiritual understanding of a higher caliber than ever before. In angel numbers, it signifies divine life purpose and soul mission. My first class was January 12th, 2022, and this course has blossomed from there. This was divinely guided and chosen by a power much greater than myself, and that is how this course has been conceived. Again, keep an open mind, and let's get started. All humans incarnate to experience life in a physical body. Some believe that everyone who incarnates on earth are supposed to achieve something like enlightenment or ascension, which is the total mastery of all lessons offered as a human. This may take many lifetimes to achieve. Remember, some people believe that. Earth is a place where we learn our lessons in the form of situations, life events, and particular people. Everything that happens in our life creates energetic cords. This is my belief, okay? Clearing these energetic cords, aka shadow work, is an essential part of moving forward in each chapter of our lives. And shadow work, we're going to get into that, but shadow work is something that is ongoing. It's not just a one and done. Oh, I did my shadow work today, I'm good. No, and shadow work will rear its ugly head when you least expect it. But each of these cords contain the answers to every question you have about life. Once you're familiar with them and able to understand and control them, you have taken back your own power. There are no promises that anyone will achieve anything, as I mentioned in this course, but the possibilities are endless. Understanding universal spiritual law. Why do I put this here? What is it that's so important about universal spiritual law that I made it the number one lesson? Because universal spiritual law requires you knowing how to shift your mindset. You have to forget everything that you've been taught, everything that you've been told. And once you do, an entirely new and different world is going to be revealed to you. There are 12 universal spiritual laws. We're only going to cover 12 in this course. There are many, but we are only going to cover the 12. And what is universal spiritual law? The unbreakable God-given laws that are created and governed by the realms of our existence. Your thoughts, your words, your deeds, whether positive or negative, cannot escape universal spiritual law. And they determine our physical and spiritual life and evolvement, which is our purpose here on earth. So let's jump into universal spiritual law. Again, we're only going to cover the 12. And the first one is the Law of Oneness. Everything seen and unseen is connected. This law states that we are all connected through creation. Every single atom, every single cell, one is connected to the other, is connected to the other, is connected to the other. I like to use the trees as an example. If you ever follow the roots of trees, they're all connected. They're all connected. And it's underground. We don't see it. And some people don't even know that. But humans are a lot like that too, energetically. So just because we can't see it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. The law of vibration, universal spiritual law number 2, everything vibrates. Everything in the universe has a frequency and a vibration. Nothing ever stands still, as everything is always either being pushed away or pulled towards something. Vibrations are also in our names, our birthdays. In this universal spiritual law, it's the basis of astrology, numerology, and other esocentric sciences. You'll also find that I sometimes stumble on my words, so I do apologize for that. Universal spiritual law number 3, the law of action. Building on the law of attraction, this law states that we cannot just think our way into a better world. We have to take action. You can't say that I want to make a 6-figure income and then sit on your couch and think that you're going to make a 6-figure income. You have to take action. You have to fill out the application. You have to get the certifications. You have to do whatever it takes to make that happen. But that's the law of action. You have to create new patterns. You have to create new brain pathways, new ways of thinking sometimes. If you want to achieve something new, you go first, the universe will follow. Vision boards have said to help facilitate with this. So if there's something that you want, put it on a vision board, write it in a journal, give it life. Don't just keep it stuffed inside. Give it life. Take that action so that your desires can become reality. The law of correspondence. This law takes the law of vibration one step further, as it says that the patterns in our lives are created in our thoughts. Oof. Our thoughts create our reality, right? There's a quote by Lao Tzu, Laotzu, that points to this. What happens around us is a different reflection of what is happening within us. Watch your thoughts, they become your words. Watch your words, they become your actions. Watch your actions, they become your habits. Watch your habits, they become your character. Watch your character, it becomes your destiny. He's pointing to the fact that your future is found in the patterns you repeat or disrupt every day. Patterns of all kinds will repeat themselves through families unless you decide to change them. When you change the pattern for yourself, you can affect the law of one, change the world. The law of cause and effect, action equals reaction. Very easy to see in physics, but just as applicable when it comes to your surroundings, relationships, and self-care. Taking care of and showing up for the people and things that matter to you is the best way to make sure you have someone to lean on and a place to call home if everything else falls apart. We can often see our personal blind spots manifested in our surroundings. Feng Shui is a practice that works with this law from the outside in. Putting furniture in a certain way, having your bed facing the window, watching the sun rise or set, whichever works for you. The law of cause and effect, again, when you have a group of people around you that you can count on, they'll always build you up. They'll always be there for you. But be very, very careful that you are not being a doormat for these people. There's a very fine line there. It's okay to show up, and it's okay to be there, and it's okay for them to be there for you. But make sure, again, that you're not a doormat for them. The law of compensation. Visual effects of our deeds are rewarded. Trust that you'll get paid. This law is the basis of many proverbs. You reap what you sow, and so on. It instills trust in us that we will be compensated for our work as long as we're open to receiving it in many ways that the universe can deliver. Not everything is monetary. Now, when I start a business, or I started my business, and I tell people this, anyone who's going to go out and become a Reiki practitioner or a Reiki teacher or any sort of business owner, put the service first. Don't lead with the compensation, because the compensation will come. It will follow. Lead with the service, lead with the heart, and then the rest will follow. Know that a way of using this law is by tipping and sending your abundance forward, not just to people in need, but to people who have served you in some way, but that didn't demand a monetary payment. Again, tipping people. I think nowadays it's like a requirement that you have to tip. I don't know where that happened, but I'm old school, so if you give me crappy service, I'm not going to tip you. Sorry. How do you say that? Sorry, not sorry? Okay. Universal spiritual law number 7, the law of attraction. Create your own reality. Love this one. This one became very famous during the movie The Secret. Everything was about the law of attraction. This is the law of vibration in action. Many people get scared by the notion that bad thoughts or low vibrations will somehow destroy their life because they're unaware. The law is not a punishment, but a very clear mirror of our self-worth and mindset. You're surrounded by the outcome of decisions you've made in the past and are fully capable of making other decisions and attracting a completely different set of circumstances. So when we talk about the law of attraction, what you put out is what you're going to get back. If you put out, I need, the universe hears, I need, and it's going to create a lack of, and that's what you're going to keep getting. Okay. So when you put out the law of attraction saying, I have abundance, I am abundance, I am abundantly wealthy, the universe hears that and just keeps giving you more. You see the difference? So be very careful with the law of attraction, that you're not putting out, I wish I had, or I need, because that, again, that perpetuates a lack of, and the universe will give you back what you're putting out. So you want to put out positive, and that's what you're going to get back. The law of perpetual transmutation of energy. This is the law. This law is like a trigger. It means that even the smallest action can have a profound effect. Like the seed of the mighty tree holds all the promise in its tiny shell, so do you have the power within you to move mountains. Now, I know we've heard this before. Oh, you have the power to move mountains. And people look at that mountain and go, I can't move that mountain. Look at it metaphorically, okay? The mountain can be a business decision. A mountain can be a bad relationship with your spouse or your children or a family member. That mountain can be huge or it can be small, depending on how big we make that mountain in our minds. But the point is that we have the power within us to move that mountain, to shift that energy so that we can forge forward on our divine path and what's for our greater good. So blast your favorite song in the shower, start your day out the best way possible, because every small step counts. Wake up in the morning and smile. Just like that. Just smile. It's not easy to do some mornings, but try it. See how your life will change. The law of relativity. Nothing and no one is inherently good and bad. Everything is a spectrum of expression, and there is more than one perspective in any situation or challenge. This law is helpful when you start feeling like a failure or guilty over the amount of privilege you might have. There is always someone worse off, so be grateful. Always be grateful for what you have, because there are people that have less than you and that are not as fortunate as you. And I always I don't like using this story because it's very close to my heart, but I have a brother who 5 years ago became paralyzed, and he's in a wheelchair. So the things, I have bad back, and I wake up every morning and I hurt, and I get out of bed and I'm whining and I'm crying, and not crying literally, but, just complaining about life because it hurts for me to walk, but yet my brother can't. So you have to look at those things, and you have to look at, you know what? Yeah, this sucks, but there are people that are worse off than I am. Always keep that in your forefront. The law of polarity. Want to manifest something really good? Then you have to be clear on what the exact opposite of that would be. Want to manifest love? Be very clear of what you don't want. Not on a physical or superficial level, but on a deeply emotional and value-based level. Set your standards, okay? Love yourself. Very important to love yourself, because you're setting the standard at that point. This law teaches us through opposition. Good things might come in ugly wrappings, as the lessons you learn from picking the wrong things make it so much clearer on what the right choice truly is. This is the law that teaches us to learn from our mistakes, the law of polarity. Whew. That's universal spiritual law number 10. Universal spiritual law number 11, the law of rhythm. Everything has its time. Nothing lasts forever. This goes for people, projects, seasons, experiences. Ride the wave while you're on it, okay? If life is tough and challenging, know that it's going to change. If everything's peachy, then savor that moment, but don't allow that moment to last beyond its natural order of things, okay? We sometimes want to hold on to it because it's so cool, but you know what? Everything has time. Nothing lasts forever. Each stage of life has tremendous gifts to offer. Embrace each new cycle, and you'll never have a midlife crisis or feel out of sync with your path. Watching the seasons change and being in tune with nature can help. The law of rhythm. Universal spiritual law number 12. The law of gender, not to be confused with biological gender terms, okay? When we're talking about the law of gender, we're talking about the feminine and the masculine energy. They're expressions of two primal forces in the universe. One is active, bright, outwardly focused, and always in motion. That's your feminine, your yin. And the other is quiet, contained, dark, and inwardly focused. These two forces are within us all and need to be balanced in all beings. You have your feminine, your masculine energy. Sometimes the energies in the universe are more feminine than they are masculine. When that feminine energy starts to rise up, you have to rise up that masculine energy. Your lower chakras, which we're going to learn in the energy center module, your lower chakras are your masculine, your lower solar plexus, your sacral, and your root chakras. Those lower ones are your masculine. And then your upper solar plexus, your heart, your throat, those are your feminine. And they always have to be in balance. Your left side of your body is your feminine side. Your right side is your masculine. So everything is in motion. Everything is working. One cannot exist without the other, and to work with this law is to recognize where in your life the balance between giving and receiving is off. You have to allow both sides in you to have their say and get their way. Not one side of you should be stronger than the other. Everything should be flowing and in homeostasis. That's why we do chakra clearings. That's why we do chakra balancing. That's why we do meditations. That's why we do sound baths. All of these things facilitate in keeping these energy centers where they're supposed to be. And knowing how they work and is 99% of the battle, is just understanding how your energetic body works with your physical body to maintain this homeostasis. So that is lesson number 1. And tomorrow we're going to get into spirituality. Just a little bit. I don't go too deep into it. We talk a little bit about different spiritualities, different religions. We talk about different energy work that people can do, and then we get into breath work. We get into protecting your energy field, which we talked about very early on, grounding, and then it gets really fun. That's when we go into training the brain. We talk about meditation and how to meditate, how to do breath work when you're meditating, how to control your mind, training the brain through meditation. And controlling your mind chatter. And then we go into trusting your intuition, and then the introduction to your energetic body. So thank you for being here for day 1, and I'll be back tomorrow, and we'll continue with our lesson. Have a great day.